From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Wednesday, December 2nd, and right now on Good Morning Indiana. The deadline for Indianapolis renters to get help is quickly approaching. Working for you, we're breaking down everything you need to know if you are struggling to pay the bills. Medical debt is something that follows many Hoosiers, and this morning, how two local doctors are stepping up to help ease that burden.
When the news says we've reached a new death toll, I don't understand that. But as a frontline healthcare worker, I can understand and I can describe the sound the zipper on a body bag makes.
A sobering message from one Central Indiana nurse, her plea to others as the pandemic continues to surge.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday. Nicole, it is great to have you here this morning for Lauren Casey. And I have to tell you that I opened the front door here at the Johnson County Living Room Studio and I said, you know what? I am happy that I work from home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I had to walk outside, make sure to start my car, and then, wait a few minutes. And, everyone's gonna want to do that this morning. Todd, you said yours didn't work?
No, the remote start, I hit it from the house to hopefully warm up the car, and I must have not hit it correctly.
Aww.
You have to hit it twice, and so I was expecting a warm car when I got out to the garage, not the case. So I had to do the same thing, let it warm up, and then here's why. Look at these temperatures this morning. The coldest air we have seen since the end of February here in central Indiana, down to 19 now in Peru, 20 in Indianapolis, 20 in Lafayette, 24 is the current temperature in Bloomington. Thankfully, our winds are not as strong as they were yesterday morning, but we're still factoring in a wind chill of 10 degrees right now in Peru. 13 is what it feels like in Indy. Bloomington currently feels like 17 degrees. The kids have to go out to the bus stop. Make sure they have the hat and gloves handy, or if you can just let them sit in the car until the bus comes, that would be even better. Clear skies. We'll have plenty of sunshine today, and with that sunshine, temperatures will moderate pretty quickly. Mid-30s here by the noon hour, should climb into the low 40s between the noon and 5 p.m. hour. Once the sun sets, though, after 5 p.m., we'll go from 39 down into the 20s fairly quickly. Nicole.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look outside this morning at the roads. This is I-70 at Post Road there on the east side. We have no accidents or delays to report at this hour, but we will keep you updated throughout the morning. It's an important day for a lot of Hoosiers who may still be struggling right now. It is the last day you can apply for help if your rent is due and you don't have the money to pay it.
Yeah, WRTV's Kelsey Anderson has more on the fund that has been a lifeline for many families hit hard by this pandemic. Kelsey joins us live this morning with the very latest. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So that deadline to apply here in Marion County for that rental assistance is tonight at 5 p.m. And Mayor Hogsett saying that they have helped thousands and thousands of Hoosiers get that rental assistance that they need. But he says he knows that there's more need here just in Marion County than that the CARES Act is going to fund. So he says he's imploring Congress to get more funding so they can help more Hoosiers stay in their businesses, stay in their homes, and just make sure that everyone is not going to go into that financial ruin. So you can apply and learn more about the program at indyrent.org. And if you have already applied, you can check your application status by calling 317-912-1260. Now, if you live in Indiana, but you're outside of Marion County, there is a different program for you. Right now, there is a wait list, but for more information, you can go to indianahousingnow.org. So far, over $26 million in rental assistance has been approved, serving more than 12,000 households, and the city anticipates distributing the full $30 million allocated for their program by the end of the year. So now the newest stimulus proposal, it was introduced yesterday. It does not contain any new money for rental and housing assistance, but it does contain funding to help state and local governments, which theoretically could be used for renting and housing assistance if that's how that local government chooses to use it and if that proposal gets approved. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. Dozens of creative arts organizations are also getting help making rent thanks to grants from the city of Indianapolis. $500,000 in relief will go to 48 Marion County-based nonprofit arts and culture groups. The money will help pay for utilities, rent, or mortgage payments. The Arts Council of Indianapolis administered the grants. The organization says the city's nonprofit arts and culture sector includes 30,000 jobs and generates $440 million in economic impact every year.
Nicole, for the 9th time, the governor has extended the state's public health emergency order. It will now run through the end of this year. Indiana reported a spike in COVID-related deaths on Tuesday, with state health officials reporting 142 new deaths. That's the highest one-day report since last Sunday. To date, nearly 56,000 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. State health officials also report more than 5,500 new cases of COVID-19. Since March, 344,373 Hoosiers have tested positive with coronavirus. Our 7-day positivity rate now stands at 11%. And we're expecting another update from the state as well as the governor later today. You can watch that through the WRTV app or on the WRTV Facebook page. Meanwhile, the CDC is expected to post some new guidelines for quarantining today. A senior agency official says the guidelines will change from a recommended 14-day quarantine to 10 days if you've been exposed to COVID-19. Now, if you receive a negative test, that number drops to 7 days. The CDC official says the agency has been considering this change for a while as scientists learn more about the incubation period of the virus.
An IU health nurse's message has been heard far beyond central Indiana. In a video diary shared with ABC News, she spoke about the heartbreaking moments that frontline workers have to face daily during this pandemic.
When the news says we've reached a new death toll, I don't understand that. But as a frontline healthcare worker, I can understand and I can describe the sound the zipper on a body bag makes. I know the feeling of my hand on a chest and the feeling of 2 minutes of CPR before the next pulse check.
Well, that video diary has spread quickly across social media. ICU nurse Brandy Copsis-Kingsley spoke with WRTV about the message she hopes people are not ignoring, and that is how serious the pandemic is in central Indiana.
We are lucky here in Indianapolis. We have a lot of amazing hospital systems, but they are all under strain. And healthcare workers are putting in tons and tons of work hours. And I get it. Emotionally, everybody's bogged down. Everybody's full of fear, anxiety, and stress. But people are dying. People are sick, and not just from COVID. Suicide attempts, overdoses, cancer, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell, lupus. These are all patients that need our help, and we can't do it because people are choosing not to help us by social distancing and wearing a mask and washing their hands. You literally have the ability to save a life, and that's on you. That's on you. You make that decision for yourself and for those around you.
IU Health does have surge plans in place, but as you heard from this Indianapolis nurse, she wants everyone to do their part so they or their loved ones do not become the next statistic.
So, Nicole, this morning, new details on the future of solar farms in Shelby County. The Shelby County Plan Commission approved new regulations that would oversee the installation of solar panel projects in their county. The previous ordinance lacked details and some say was considered weak. Homeowners have been demanding for months that elected leaders and county boards do more to make sure that future solar projects are limited in size, operate safely, and protect prime farmland as well as property values.
It's not a good idea to just stand back and say, you know, we tried our best and we're done trying. I think that the citizens of the Bingle area and all of Shelby County should just continue to fight for the things that we believe should be in this ordinance and not give up.
But if we give up, nothing will happen. So we will keep pushing and keep fighting.
The vote from the Plan Commission now goes to the Shelby County Commissioners. The commissioners can approve those recommendations, they can reject them, or send them back to the Plan Commission to make changes. We'll hear from other homeowners coming up in this hour of Good Morning Indiana. Many Hoosiers are struggling with medical debt. Up next, how 2 local doctors used their experience to create a lifeline for those in need.
Lawmakers are back on Capitol Hill this morning after the unveiling of a $908 billion COVID relief proposal. Coming up after the break, the latest from Washington on where negotiations now stand. Todd.
On February 29th, earlier this year, the temperature got down to 17 degrees. That was the coldest temperature we have seen till this morning, where we now sit at 20 degrees. So it's a cold start to our day all across the area. Wind chills are in the teens in most locales. Despite the very cold start, it turns into a pretty seasonable day for us. We'll break the forecast down for you hour by hour coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
The Rebound Indiana is showing you how people are stepping up to help Hoosier families in need and where you can get help if your family is struggling to make ends meet.
The reality is that many people are struggling to pay off their medical debt. Our Lauren Casey spoke with two local doctors that are working to help people rebound by easing this burden.
The average person and family who have a high deductible plan, which is the average Hoosier, the out-of-pocket expenses and deductibles are approaching or probably even over $10,000 a year.
$10,000 a year is a big deal for any family, even middle and working class Hoosiers.
Making choices about whether to go to the grocery store, put gas in your car so you can go to work, and paying your health care bill.
Dr. Jeffrey Meltzer and his wife Lee have delivered thousands of babies over the course of their careers right here in central Indiana. And in those roles, they not only see the joy a new baby brings to the world, but they also see the struggles of families to pay their hospital bills.
I saw the devastating effects of illness and healthcare bills on patient families.
Medical debt is something that follows many Hoosiers, and the COVID-19 pandemic has only heightened our awareness of this issue.
You know, with healthcare being tied to people's jobs, and if you think about all the people in the service industry who are not working, just routine healthcare becomes a major problem for the average person.
And so the Meltzers wanted to do something about this. Dr. Meltzer tells me he took a leave of absence from his work as an OBGYN, and with his wife, they founded the Indiana Health Fund. The Indiana Health Fund was incorporated the week of the shutdowns back in March 2020. Since then, they've been fundraising to pay off medical debt for struggling Hoosier families.
And the really cool thing is that we plan on paying off groups of bills, so maybe 10, 15, 20 patients at a time.
And so your dollar goes further. Dr. Meltzer says by their negotiating, your $1,000 donation, for example, could help pay off $10,000 worth of medical debt for your neighbors.
That was our Lauren Casey reporting. The Indiana Health Fund works with individual donors, public and private foundations to pay off debt at no cost to the individual in need. They serve families who make 2 to 4 times the federal poverty level, or about $50,000 for a family of 4 with those high deductible plans and facing medical bankruptcy. To donate or apply for help with the Indiana Health Fund, just visit our website, WRTV.com/rebound, and click on this story.
And Nicole, as the end of the year approaches, some financial lifelines are set to expire as many Hoosiers and Americans continue to struggle financially due to the pandemic, hoping to rebound. Relief measures like a moratorium on evictions and a federal student loan payment freeze, they're set to expire within weeks. Those close to President-elect Joe Biden say his plans for his first 100 days in office include an expansive stimulus plan. But a group of bipartisan senators who unveiled their own $908 billion proposal on Tuesday say that Americans need help before January the 20th. Despite that, there is no deal in sight.
I hope our Democratic colleagues will finally let us make law in all the enormously important areas where we do not even disagree.
The Republican leader's idea of action on COVID has been to bring partisan legislation to the floor and then demand everyone accept it.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had their first talk since November the 3rd, Election Day. The Mnuchin said it was more about December 11th's government funding deadline.
From outer space to Congress, former astronaut Mark Kelly will be sworn in for a different kind of mission today. Kelly will now represent Arizona in the Senate as a Democrat after defeating Republican Martha McSally by more than 78,000 votes. McSally filled the vacant Senate seat that resulted from John McCain's death in 2018. Kelly is a retired Navy captain and the husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who was shot in an assassination attempt in 2011. After the shooting, the couple founded the nonprofit Americans for Responsible Solutions, campaigning for universal background checks and red flag laws.
So with Christmas on the radar, Santa Claus is preparing for that worldwide trek. And now, of course, you can follow him on that trek. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, known as NORAD, Santa Tracker website is officially up and running. So give it a look. Just go to noradsanta.org. There you'll find a holiday countdown, some games, music, and much more. Then on Christmas Eve, Santa cams will start streaming. Trackers can call into NORAD to check the whereabouts of Santa and his reindeer. But, you know, as I said before, I always stick to Todd Radar because that's one of the best around. Good morning, TK.
Yeah, Raphael, radar here was busy on Monday with that rain and snow that went through the area. Radar is going to be pretty quiet here in the coming days because there's no big weather systems heading our way. So that means we'll have a pretty quiet weather pattern for us going all the way through the weekend. Cold nights, but seasonal days will be in the 20s most mornings, but the afternoon hours will be in the 40s, and then plenty of sunshine, at least during the day today, and really going forward throughout the day. It's going to be pretty nice all across the area. A view outside, the skies are clear. If you left your car outside throughout the overnight hours, it is going to have a nice layer of frost on it with temperatures that are sitting in the teens and 20s now. We're right at 20 degrees in Greencastle as well as Indy, 19 in Peru, 21 is the current temperature in Bedford, and Richmond sitting right at 20 degrees here this morning. And as far as the wind chill values go, feels like 17 in Bloomington, 13 in Indy, only 10 degrees is what it feels like up in the Peru area. You just need to have all the winter weather gear on this morning, especially if you need to be outside for an extended period of time. The good news is, though, once the sun comes up a little after 7 o'clock, notice how the temperatures will start to warm. Yesterday, we had the clouds around. We had those northwesterly winds. The temperatures didn't really go up much at all throughout the course of the day. That changes today, which is good news with the clear skies you see here all across the area. There's our storm system from Monday. It's a slow mover just moving into the northeast, and you see the clear skies off to our west. That will not impact us here as far as any storms that are off in the western portion of the country, at least in the coming days. 39 today with sunshine in Logansport as well as Kokomo, 38 Marion, Petersburg at 45 degrees, about 44 in Shelbyville, as well as Crawfordsville, Martinsville, 46. In southern locations today, you'll be up right around 45 to 47 degrees as well. It's really just a seasonable day for us, despite this being the coldest start that we have seen since the end of February earlier this year. If you're heading to the state fairgrounds to drive through the light display there, temperatures will be in the 30s, eventually falling into the 20s, but a great night to do that with skies that'll be mainly clear. And then overnight tonight, it gets back down into the 20s tomorrow morning. It's another cold start for us, but it's not quite as cold as it is this morning across the area, so that's pretty good. And then for the day tomorrow, we start in the 20s and back up in the 40s. Tomorrow, though, you'll notice just a little bit more in the way of cloud cover across the area. Friday, back into the sunshine at 45 degrees. Your weekend, Saturday morning, there could be a flurry and or a sprinkle depending on when that little system slides through, but nothing major. And then temperatures stay in the 40s as we head through Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Nicole?
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look outside at the roads this morning. Here's a look at I-69 at State Road 38 there in Pendleton. No accidents on the interstate right now at this hour, but we do have one school closing this morning. Over in eastern Indiana, Randolph Southern Schools will have an e-learning day today due to some lingering icy roads. Raphael.
Just like Black Friday, Nicole, lasted several days, Cyber Monday is now turning into Cyber Week. Consumer reporter John Matteries breaks down the best time to buy those key items so that you don't waste your money. And let's head outside on this Wednesday morning. A big good morning to Cumberland, Clayton, and Carmel, all great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the stories trending here at 6 o'clock.
So let's talk about food, because Nicole, you know we love food here on Good Morning Indiana. And if you don't want to put maybe milk in your cereal and you want a different dairy option, how about this? We have options here on Good Morning Indiana. How about ice cream? At 6:25 in the morning. Ben & Jerry's is giving you another reason to Netflix and chill this holiday season. The ice cream company has teamed up once again with Netflix to debut a new flavor called Punchline. It's a mixture of brown, butter, bourbon, and almond ice creams, roasted almonds, and cherries. And on the carton, there's a hotline that you can call that will connect you to famous comedians who will offer some LOL-worthy jokes. And I am confident that in this 2020, we need to laugh a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like you got to be very bored to sit around and call this number. Hey, whatever you got to do.
Not when you're eating ice, Nicole. You're eating ice cream, almonds and bourbon and cherries. Come on, yeah.
Well, take a look at this. A large display in Oklahoma is paying homage to the classic holiday film, A Christmas Story. This 40-foot tall leg lamp is much like the one in the iconic movie. A local economic council official put it up, hoping to attract visitors to his small town of Chickasha, which is about 40 miles southwest of Oklahoma City. I gotta admit, I've never seen that movie.
What?
Nope.
Stop it.
Never.
Stop it. Listen, so in that movie, there's a great bunny outfit. I'm getting it for Christmas.
Oh.
I'm getting it.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, I got you. Don't worry. So listen, Nicole, a Rhode Island artist is spreading cheer this holiday season with his holiday murals. You see, Paul Morse learned graffiti in the 6th grade. While he had a few run-ins with the law, he only does commissioned work, like a mural that he recently finished on the back of his neighbor's garage. He said he learned kids in the neighborhood are intrigued by the art, and now he plans to give lessons to anyone that wants them for free. I learned graffiti back when I was 4, back in the Bronx. So listen, it's doable, Nicole.
He's
it's
talented.
doable, Todd, right?
It's doable. I'd like to see, how has your artistic ability progressed since you were 4?
I didn't say I was a good artist. I just thought I knew how to hold a spray can.
A spray can?
It's okay.
All right. You held it up and faced it the right way. So, all right.
That's right.
All right. I don't think you can paint outside, right? When temperatures are this cold, it won't dry as quickly or something like that. Temperatures are in the 20s right now, in the teens in some areas, up to the north in Peru, 20 in Indy. You factor in the wind, and this is what it feels like. Feels like it's in the teens, down to 10 is what it feels like in the Peru area. 16 is what it feels like in Muncie. Despite the really cold start going forward here throughout the day today, temperatures do get back closer to seasonable levels later on this afternoon with plenty of sunshine. So just bundle up this morning, and then obviously you'll need the coat later on this afternoon, but you probably be able to shed the hat and gloves. 39 today in Peru, 43 in Indy, highs from Bloomington to Columbus. Nicole, probably right around 45 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you. Well, if you haven't finished your holiday shopping, there is no need to worry. There are still some great Cyber Week sales right now, and even better, there are more to come. Consumer reporter John Mattery shows the best days to shop in December, so you don't waste your money.
So the month of endless Black Friday sales is finally over. We head into December now with weeks of new sales from Cyber Week all the way to Christmas Eve. Just like Black Friday stretched into weeks of deals, Cyber Monday is now Cyber Week, and it seems there are new sales every other day. So when will you find the best deals now till Christmas? DealNews.com says Cyber Week is a great time for electronics, with many items that sold out during Thanksgiving back in stock. Green Monday, December 7th or 14th, depending on the retailer, is a great time to find sales at smaller stores. December 14th is Free Shipping Day, the last day for free guaranteed Christmas delivery from many stores. December 15th is traditionally when toy prices start to drop. And December 20th is when prices on winter clothing that hasn't sold starts to get slashed. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, the risk this year of waiting too long to order online. After Free Shipping Day in mid-December, you're pushing your luck ordering online unless you're willing to pay for priority shipping.
I would advise people to make it a holiday shopping event if they're not already, especially given that we've seen shipping delays all year.
That late, you may want to put your mask on and head to the mall. With online shopping up 30% this year, Amazon, FedEx, and UPS expect a crush of orders, so shop early so you don't waste your money. I'm John Mattery. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, this is your 6:30 news feed. This morning, police say a child has died in a crash on the city's north side. The crash happened around 8:45 Tuesday night on Keystone Avenue near 52nd Street. Police say the car's driver swerved for an unknown reason, crashing into a tree and rolled over. The child's age and other information has not been released. 3 others were also taken to the hospital.
Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine could be delivered in less than 2 weeks. Paperwork given to governors also estimates the first shipment of Moderna's vaccine will be delivered 6 days later. The FDA still has to authorize each vaccine for emergency use. Officials estimate more than 22 million doses of Pfizer's vaccine and 18 million of the Moderna vaccine will be produced this month.
6 of the country's top basketball teams are in the Circle City this morning, but due to the pandemic, you can't buy a ticket to see them play. The action started at Bankers Life Fieldhouse late Tuesday night and will continue through the weekend. The teams here this week could be back for the Final Four in April. You might remember because of the pandemic, the NCAA is considering bringing the entire tournament right here to Indianapolis.
This morning, encouraging news for Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez, who underwent surgery for a cancerous tumor. In a tweet, Sanchez says his surgery was successful. He also says he is overwhelmed by the love and support. The 26-year-old was diagnosed with the tumor late last week and revealed the illness on social media Monday. The Colts say he will miss some time, but it is not clear just how long he will be out. We want to welcome you in here to Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin, in for Lauren Casey this morning.
Nicole, good morning. It is always great to have you here with the Good Morning Indiana family. And Todd Clausen, December 2nd reminds me of why I don't complain about the weather on August the 2nd.
Right.
Because obviously it's Indiana. Let's enjoy a great day, right?
Yeah, you know, we get hot, we get cold, and we get everything in between. And, so you just got to take what we're given here, Raphael. We had the snow earlier in the week, and for some of you didn't see any snow here. We're just all dealing with very, very cold temperatures. And there are some slick spots still in the eastern portion of the state. Keep that in mind as you get going here on this Wednesday morning. But this is our biggest issue. Look at these temperatures. 20 right now in Indy as well as Lafayette with a clear sky. The good news is the winds are fairly calm, but when temperatures this cold, even with a light wind, we are able to figure in wind chills that are in the teens from Indy down to Bloomington. Feels like 10 right now as you make your way up into the Peru area. The good news is the skies are clear. Once the sun comes up, we'll have plenty of sunshine throughout the day today. And with that sunshine, temperatures will moderate fairly quickly today through the 30s. And then eventually by this afternoon, seasonable highs as we climb into the low to mid 40s. Nicole.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look outside this morning. This is I-65 at State Road 334. We don't have any accidents at this hour on the interstate, but right near this location, there is a crash on State Road 334. That's near Indianapolis Road, so make sure to watch out for some delays here in this area. Raphael.
Nicole, this morning, now to the pandemic and its impact on our state. This morning, the State Health Department reports that 142 more Hoosiers have died with the virus. Since the pandemic began, nearly 5,600 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Most of those reported deaths happened in November. At least 1,416 Hoosiers died with the virus in November alone, making it by far the deadliest month of the pandemic so far in our state. State health officials also reported more than 5,500 new coronavirus cases yesterday. Since March, more than 344,000 Hoosiers have been diagnosed with the virus.
This morning, new small businesses in Hendricks County hope you'll turn to them for holiday shopping. Timber City Coffee Roasters in Plainfield is just about a year old. The owner shares the space with the Joyce Cakery. Together, the two have managed to make ends meet during the pandemic by making online ordering and delivery available to customers. That is how Tracy Ammons is staying in business too. She opened her store, Bottles and Binkies, in Brownsburg in June. She still hopes people look to her and other local small businesses for gift giving this year.
If you can, shop in your community, keep your dollars local, keep your local businesses in business, because when this is all over, we want to still see them. We want to still go to our favorite restaurant. We want to still shop at our favorite store. And right now they really need us, myself included.
Well, you can learn much more about these local businesses and how you can support them by just downloading the WRTV News app.
And definitely shop local, shop in your hometown when you can. Thousands of Hoosiers are struggling to pay rent as the pandemic, as you know, continues. So this morning, the new information you need to know as rent assistance ends right here in Marion County. You're watching WRTV. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is deadline day for the rent assistance program that helps many people right here in Marion County, the capital city. The fund has been a lifeline for many families hit hard by this pandemic. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what's at stake. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So that deadline to apply for that assistance is tonight at 5 p.m. Again, that's if you're in Marion County. And in a press release, Mayor Joe Hogsett saying that they have been able to help thousands of Hoosiers with that rental and housing assistance. But he says he knows that there's more need than they have funding. But he says he's hoping that he's imploring Congress to, put more funding into these cities so they can keep people in their businesses and in their homes during this pandemic. So you can apply and learn more about the program at indyrent.org. And if you have already applied, you can check your application status by calling 317-912-1260. Now, if you live in Indiana, but you're outside of Marion County, there is a different program for you. Right now, there is a wait list, but for more information, you can go to indianahousingnow.org. So far, over $26 million in rental assistance has been approved, serving more than 12,000 households. And the city anticipates distributing the full $30 million allocated for the program by the end of this year. Now, the new stimulus package that was introduced yesterday, it does not contain any new rental or housing assistance funding, but it does include it includes funding for local and state governments, and then theoretically they could use that funding for rental and housing assistance if they so choose, but all that depends on that proposal getting approved. We'll let you know, of course, if a stimulus package does get approved. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative works to connect you to job opportunities open to you right now. And here's a noble career with a lot of benefits: the United States Army. U.S. Army recruiters in Indianapolis are hosting a virtual career fair tomorrow to educate anyone interested in full-time and part-time careers available in more than 150 specialties. At this virtual event, you will learn more about the open positions that may fit your skill set, as well as the benefits provided by being in the military service, like health insurance, retirement plans, training, education, housing, and more. We spoke with Lieutenant Colonel Brittany Simmons, the recruiting battalion commander for Indianapolis, about what a career in the Army can offer to Hoosiers.
Great thing when it comes to skill set is the Army's going to teach you what you need to know. So the biggest qualifiers we're going to have is that they're morally, available, which means they don't have a bunch of legal issues in their background. They're able to pass the ASVAB, so that's a test that will administer to them, so they don't need to have had it before. We can help take that. They've graduated from high school or have a GED, or are a high school senior. If there's something that a small city needs, or a large city really, the Army has it as a job.
Qualified applicants may be eligible for bonuses up to $40,000 or student loan reimbursement up to $65,000. Again, the career fair is this Thursday. To attend, visit Army Recruiting Indianapolis Facebook page, and that will link you to this event.
So, Nicole, I want to take you southeast of Indianapolis because thousands of solar panels could be planted in the fields of Shelby County. This morning, we talked to homeowners on recently approved regulations surrounding so-called solar farms.
The revitalization of Indiana Avenue remains uncertain this morning. Still ahead, the great-great-granddaughter of an Indianapolis icon weighs in on the Avenue's future. Todd.
If you left your car outside throughout the overnight hours, it's going to have a layer of frost on it, so make sure you defrost that before you get going. It's a cold start to our day with temperatures in the low 20s. Coming home, though, plenty of sunshine, highs in the 40s. We'll detail today and look ahead to the rest of the week and into the weekend coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Shelby County is facing the possibility of being home to hundreds or maybe even thousands of acres of solar panels. The Shelby County Plan Commission approved new regulations that would oversee the installation of solar panel projects there in the county. The previous ordinance lacked details and some say was somewhat weak. Homeowners have been demanding that elected leaders and county boards do more to make sure that future solar projects are limited in size, operate safely, and protect prime farmland and property values. We spoke to homeowners following the vote late last night from the Plan Commission.
They did not bring up our well testing. They did not. They don't want to touch on property values. But am I disappointed in this? Yes, I am. I do feel like the people weren't heard.
Some ways we had baby steps, some ways we had no steps. So, we'll take the gains that we got and be happy about those and pray for better outcomes in the future.
Zanda, of course, the county commissioners take this up on Monday. You folks plan to be present. So what's next? Do you give up?
Absolutely not. One of the things that I could tell anybody that wants to see a change in any law is to be persistent and to be a steady force. Be respectful, but to always be there.
So the decision from the Plan Commission now goes to the Shelby County Commissioners, and three things could happen. Commissioners could approve the recommendations, they could reject them, or send them back to the Plan Commission for any changes. I'm told that commissioners may take up this issue as early as this upcoming Monday. Nicole?
This morning, the great-great-granddaughter of the iconic Madam C.J. Walker is weighing in on the future of Indiana Avenue. The street is home to the Madam Walker Legacy Center and was once the site of a thriving black business community. WRTV has been following plans to redevelop the area. At a virtual meeting for the Economic Club of Indiana, Alelia Bundles says she would like to see development that is walkable, community-oriented, and creates opportunities.
With IUPUI and with all of the talent and all of the resources that are there in the business school and the informatics school and architecture and design, there is a way, I think, to create some partnership with all of the stakeholders participating. So I'd love a neighborhood that maybe feels like Broad Ripple or feels like Fountain Square, but that also is creating economic opportunity.
We told you last week plans for a large apartment complex on Indiana Avenue have been dropped, and that was good news to grassroots organizers who want development in the area to reflect its rich black history and culture. And Todd, if people are just waking up with us, they want to make sure to bundle up if they're heading out the door soon.
I guarantee once you open up that door, if you don't have the coat on, if you're bundled up, you may turn right back around and walk inside because it is cold. In fact, this is the coldest morning we've seen since February the 29th earlier this year, when we got down to 17 degrees. We're sitting at 20 right now in Indy. Feels like 13 though when you factor in just a light wind out of the west at 5 miles per hour. So thankfully the winds have calmed from where they were at this point yesterday, but we're still factoring in some wind chills here. Here are your actual temperatures and a couple more teens appearing. 19 in Sullivan as well as Columbus and Peru. 21 is the current temperature in Tipton. Factor in that wind and it feels like it's 13 right now in Indy. 10 is what it feels like in the Peru area, and it feels like 17 in Bloomington when you factor in that wind. So definitely hat and gloves required for the kids at the bus stop here this morning, and you may want them as well as you walk out the door. Here's the good news, though. We have plenty of sunshine today, and our winds are a little more out of the south. Even though they're light, it'll help the temperatures. We're still very cold throughout the next couple hours, but once we get past 9 o'clock, the temperatures should start to moderate pretty quickly through the 30s, 37 degrees by the noon hour. High temperature today right around 43 degrees at 3 p.m. But once the sun sets, that's when we'll see the temperatures cool off once again very, very quickly all across the area. Here are the clear skies on the satellite radar picture. Back off to our west, really not a whole lot going on. There's the snow from earlier in the week that now continues to push off to the east. Here's that evening forecast. Should be back down to freezing by 7 p.m. and then 30 degrees by 8 o'clock. And then overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures fall back down into the 20s here. So it's not quite as cold tomorrow morning as it was this morning. But nonetheless, obviously, 25 is very, very chilly and you need to prepare for that as you get your Thursday going. And then the rest of tomorrow, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. So it's not bright tomorrow. It is today, but temperatures will be climbing up into the low 40s. And then as we look ahead, Friday, mixture of sun and clouds. On Saturday, there could be a flurry or maybe a sprinkle early in the morning as a weak little disturbance slides through. Nothing major, but just don't be shocked if you see one. Then on Sunday, 40 degrees as well with partly cloudy skies. highs. As you look at your 7-day planning forecast here, you'll see a pretty consistent theme with temperatures in the 40s for afternoon highs. Keeping in mind our normal high is 44 degrees. Then overnight lows, with the exception of a little bit of a warmer start on Friday, if you want to call it that, at 32 degrees. Low temperatures will be in the 20s, but our average low this time of year is 29. So all in all, it's a pretty seasonable forecast here as we push into the first full week of December. Nicole?
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look outside this morning. I-65 at Washington Street there in the downtown area, where you can see here traffic moving smoothly. Good news this morning, no accidents or delays so far on the interstates. Raphael.
So a little return to normalcy and something for kids to look forward to in the new year. You see, Disney on Ice is coming back to Bankers Life Fieldhouse in January. The performance is titled Dream Big. The Fieldhouse will host 12 shows between January the 13th and the 18th. They'll be using some pod seating designed to keep families and friends safe and socially distanced from other groups. Now, seating capacity will be reduced and masks will be required for anyone 2 and older. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, December the 8th at 10 a.m. and prices start at $20.
Last night on The Bachelorette, a candid discussion about a subject that doesn't often get much attention, male eating disorders. Ben Smith opened up to Tasha about his struggle with bulimia.
I don't like lay all this on you, but the reason that I'm in fitness and nutrition, I had an eating disorder for 15 years. I found out what girls were when I was 15. I realized they don't like the fat kid.
Well, coming up on Good Morning America, a new interview with Ben Smith plus Dr. Jen Ashton weighs in live. But first, a look at today's top stories when Good Morning Indiana continues. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We're taking a live look outside right now at I-70 at Sherman Drive. This is east of Indianapolis, and we can report right now at this hour some good news: no accidents or delays to slow you down as you head out the door. It is 6:54. We will get a check of your Wednesday forecast with meteorologist Todd Clausen in just a few moments.
But first on this Wednesday, Nicole, your top stories as you're heading out the door. Metro Police investigating another deadly crash on Indy's near North Side. One person was killed in this incident at the intersection of East 16th Street and Roosevelt Avenue. This happened around 10:30 Tuesday night. Police have not released any more information at this time.
Indiana's public health emergency will continue through the end of the year. This is the 9th time it has been extended. And this afternoon, we will get more updates from state health officials in their weekly briefing. That includes new information on the colored county risk map. WRTV will stream the update live at 2:30. You can watch through the WRTV News app.
Dozens of arts organizations are getting help from grants being provided by the city. $500,000 in relief will go to 48 Marion County-based non-for-profit groups that are both focused on arts and cultural events. The money will help pay for utilities, rent, or mortgage payments. The Arts Council of Indianapolis administers the grants. The organization says that the city's non-for-profit arts and culture sector, that includes 30,000 jobs and generates $440 million in economic impact every year.
Well, the Pacers will have a new look next season. The team unveiled its new jerseys on social media, and this is the first time since 2013 that the team is bringing back the pinstripes, as you see here. The Nike City Edition uniforms also drew inspiration from Indiana's flag with the brighter royal blue. There's also a basketball-inspired torch emblem and the saying, "We grow basketball here," right on the shorts. I need to get me a jersey. I like these.
I like them too. I like the old pinstripe look coming back.
Throwing it way back.
That's right. All right, outside right now, you might want to throw these temperatures out. We're in the teens and 20s this morning all across the area. 19 in Sullivan as well as Peru. You factor in the wind, it feels like 10 degrees in Peru. 21 is what it feels like in Indy. The good news is plenty of sunshine today, and temperatures will be climbing up into the 40s, and then we'll stay in the 40s throughout the course of the next 7 days. Our average high is 44, so it's a pretty seasonable stretch of weather and a pretty dry stretch of weather. Saturday morning there could be a flurry and or a sprinkle, but nothing major. major. And then overnight lows, they are going to be at or just below freezing, which is also fairly seasonable for this time of year. So plenty of opportunity to get out and about. And how about that sunrise, Nicole? That's just starting to take place across the area. Once that sun comes up, our temperature should start to warm pretty quickly.
All right, starting to look good out there. Thank you so much, Todd. Well, we are back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with more news, weather, and traffic updates. Remember, all of your news throughout the day can be found right on the WRTV News app. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. We hope you have a great Wednesday.